Greetings, family. Today the report came out on from the Commission on Race and Ethnic Disparities, and I read it by 1 o'clock. It came at 11:30 today, and by 4 o'clock right through to this evening, my phone's just been blowing up. People ask me what I think about it. For me, I'll tell you straight, it's just total and utter whitewashed, scripted by for the actors and the audience that sit in Parliament. Tony Sewell, I didn't expect him to, well, I did expect him to not be in our favour, but not so dramatically. So much to say that there's no racism, basically, in terms of there may be one or two individuals that might be prejudiced or racist, but there's no institutionalized racism. To me, that is totally and utterly disgusting for anyone to come and say such a far-fetched thing, knowing that black children, for example, are disproportionately excluded daily, okay, daily. Black boys, especially, are stopped and searched disproportionately daily. This has not changed. How can you expect a nation that's built up from murder, rape and pillage to all of a sudden not be have systems put in place where it's maintaining their heritage and their so-called empire? One part of the report which really got me is, loads of it got me, but this part in particular by Tony Sewell and his cronies. We have argued against bringing down statues. Instead, we want all children to reclaim their British heritage. We want to create a teaching resource that looks at the influence of the UK, particularly during the Empire period. We want to see how Britishness influenced the Commonwealth and local communities, and how the Commonwealth and local communities influence what we now know as modern Britain. What we now know as modern Britain is still set up with systemic and institutional racism. Nothing has changed, brother Tony. Nothing has changed at all. So I would suggest that when you're doing these kind of reports, when Boris tells you to do these kind of reports, speak to people like myself, who's not just, I know how you guys feel funny to speak to people that are Pan-Africanists or or activists, serious activists. But at least you can speak to me, who's somebody who is a professional, who is a teacher for over 3 decades, who has fought in schools day in and day out to reduce and to stop the institutionalized racism, who has trained head teachers, who's worked for the Institute of Education, you know, has been headhunted to stop it, and the Home Office, okay, because I've challenged it for years. Parents continuously phoning me day in, day out, not because I'm a parent. My children has never been excluded, so not because I'm a parent, but because they know that I'm a teacher and knows the system, know how it works. Been in the system and fought it for decades. So unless you're going to speak to people like me, who's in the system, okay, and qualified to do that, and parents who's been through it day in and day out and know the difference, okay, of whether it's racism or whether their child just being out of order, because nobody's an idiot around here, then your thing is not warranted. You will be coming with this whitewash, Negro-pean mindset. And it has to stop, because you're not doing us any justice or any form of good. It has to stop. You're absolutely, this report is absolutely atrocious, and you put in it as well. There is a news story about the Caribbean experience, which speaks to the slave period, not only being about profit and suffering, but how culturally African people transformed themselves into a remodeled African Britain. Go and get a grip and stop being so pedantic. We come from great empires and nations, and we're still part of them. Mali, Ghana, Songhai, the Dogons and everything else. So this is not, no one has to remodel anything for us, okay? Speak for yourself. So I think this report needs to be binned, burned, and never to be seen again, and get the real people who know the real truth to come with the whole information and findings behind it. Okay, family.
Greetings, family. It's Gail from Official Stop the Silence here. I just wanted to speak out on the report that came out recently regarding whether this country is institutionally racist or not. And the findings have come out as a no, which is, what a surprise. How long are we going to ignore the elephant in the room? We know there's disparities regarding living, regarding economics, regarding education, and for me that is based on race. It's not just based on your social class. It's just a nonsense to say that there isn't. And for me, this report just shows me that nothing is going to change. To be honest with you, I didn't expect anything to change from this. I think it's just going to give people carte blanche to just continue doing what they've been doing, and not being held accountable for their behaviour. And it's almost, go on, continue doing what you've been doing. It's open season to behave in this vile way regarding us as Africans in this country. And for me, it's just an absolute nonsense. And I don't know where they're basing their figures on, because, clearly they've not spoken to the people that I know. They're not speaking to somebody like myself that would tell them exactly what is happening and how it's happening and how it works. So for me, I just think it's just a load of nonsense. And where they're getting their figures from, where they're getting their information from, I just don't know. When you've got stop and search, and you've got the disparity between young black boys, say, and their white counterparts, the disparity is huge regarding who's going to get stopped and searched and for what reason. The school system is another one. The amount of exclusions for young black boys is high and unnecessary. And you want to tell me that there's no issues that we have? Please. It's just a nonsense. I'm fully tired of it. Bye for now.